Alright, hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Happy New Year, and we're going to be talking about the last week of the auctions in Blitz. We're going to go through these tanks here and I will give you my opinions on whether they're worth it or not, or if you should wait to buy any of them here. And yeah, we're going to jump straight into it here with the T4485. Now currently this tank is the least sold one so far, and for pretty decent reason. 5,000 gold is way too expensive for a tier 7 in the auction, honestly, so definitely give this one a wait. I do think the T4485 is a pretty solid tank. I personally have it, got it during an event. It's pretty decent. It's not a must-have tank by any means at all, but if this gets super low, since it is currently the least sold tank, like, I'm talking like 3k, then that's going to be probably a solid deal underneath that. Next up, the STG. Second least sold vehicle, only a 5 vehicle difference. Yeah, this is way too overpriced currently. 8,000 gold for the STG is not worth that at all. I highly recommend waiting a while for this price to drop much lower than what it currently is. And still, honestly, should be probably on the bottom of your priority list of the tanks in the auction currently. Alright, next up, a pretty decent one here. We have the 121B, the third least sold one, but it's a tier 10 and it's only at 15k gold, and it's dropping by 10k gold every time the price resets. So keep an eye on this tank, and if this thing drops like 12, 13, 11, maybe even k gold, it's going to be a killer deal. That's really good for a tier 10, a really good price for a tier 10 premium. This is a decent tier 10 premium. It's not amazing. It's not the worst one either, though. But yeah, Skoda T27, this is a little expensive, 9,000 gold. I believe this is a tier 8, really, which 9,000 for a tier 8, yeah, no, way too much. Wait for this to drop quite a bit. I'm not sure why it's dropping so little, like, compared to the Email 1951. So, I don't know, this would probably be lower on my list just because this is going to take a while to get down to a reasonable price. And next up, Email 1951. Don't buy this tank, just buy the Tech Tree version. They're the same tank. Enough said about that. Next, the Centurion Mark 51 RAAC. This tank is extremely good. This is an amazing tank. It's dropping by 500 gold. This is probably, out of all these tanks, yeah, this is probably the best one here. This is probably the best one. There's still 3,500 vehicles left, so let it drop. Keep an eye on it. Make sure it doesn't get sold out because it is a solid tank. A lot of people do have it, though, because this has been given away for free quite a few times. If this thing gets down to like 7k gold, that's a good deal. That's a great deal for the Centurion. All right, next up, the Titan 54D. 9k gold, yeah, it's a little too much. I would wait for this tank. Honestly, I'm not going to lie, I barely know anything about the Titan 54D, whether it's good or not, so I'm not going to give too much of my opinion on this tank, other than 9,000 gold seems expensive for a tier 8, just like all the other ones. AMX Kanonen 105, 8,500, it's a lot, but it's going to be dropping by 750 each time, and it's a decent tank. It's solid, so give this another price drop or two, maybe more, again, just check the vehicles, let the prices drop as low as you can, of course. I think this one would be a pretty solid pickup. And then we have the Progetto 46, 10,000 gold, very expensive for a tier 8, but this tank is fantastic. This would be probably my highest priority to tank out of all of these. Let me double check to get, yeah, this would be my highest priority tank to get out of any of these guys. This is a fantastic tank. Let this tank drop down under, 9k, 8k gold, and under if there are still vehicles left, of course, and that's going to be a killer deal. Titan HND. Tier 7, 7,500 gold, that's a lot, awful lot for a tier 7. I would wait for this price to drop. It's not a must-have tank at all by any means as well. Honestly, wasn't very impressed by this tank when it came out for the Halloween event. So, this one might drop down low, might not. Honestly, though, it's one of the more sold ones, which I find rather odd. Maybe a lot of people wanted this tank for some reason. But I would definitely let this drop down because right now, way too expensive for a tier 7. Kampfpanzer 70. 10k gold, for a tier 9, not bad. Dropping by 10k, 1k gold every price drop. This is one of the most sold ones, though, so keep an eye on the vehicles, but this is obviously going to drop down one more time. Probably the time after that. You could maybe get this thing for 8k gold, and for a tier 9, that is a fantastic deal. So, yeah, that's a really good deal. That's a great tank, too. I really enjoy the Kampfpanzer. Next up, the Lycan, 7.5k gold. Again, a little expensive for a tier 8. For a tier 7, my bad. And it was an okay tank. The Lycan's not really an amazing tank, I would say. It's solid. It's just another tier 7 heavy tank, I would say, but it's dropping by 1k gold. So this tank is going to drop down pretty low, pretty dang quick. It got sold out, or it's getting sold pretty quickly, which I find odd because I feel like people would look and say, "Oh wow, this tank's already not that. It's not like a crazy expensive one, and it's dropping by 1k gold every day. We should just wait until it's like 5k gold." But no, people just decide to impulse buy sooner, and that's going to run down the supply before it gets cheap. So keep an eye on this one. But if this gets low, that wouldn't be a bad pickup. And last but not least, the Krebsstrayer Waffenträger. This is 6,000 gold, which is a little expensive. Half the vehicles are gone already, which is crazy to me. This is a fantastic tank, though, dropping by 500 gold. I don't know how low this is going to drop, because this is going pretty fast. But if you can get this under 5k gold, that's a pretty good pickup. So yeah, that is the last week of the auctions, everyone. Let me know what you thought about the auctions this year. I didn't buy anything. I thought it was a rather mid auction. There wasn't really much that I wanted out of this. I probably should have gotten the Amex 30ER. That was a great deal, great tank. But other than that, there's really nothing in the auction that I wanted. Let me know your thoughts on this year's auction in the comments down below, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.